How's it going, everyone, and welcome back to the Stamps Bros channel. In the previous video, we taught you guys how to safely wash and protect your soft top. So if you guys want to know how to safely wash, protect it, go check that video out. But today we're doing a wash, polish, and ceramic coating to the Z3m coupe. Let's jump right into it. So normally the first thing that we do, you guys know it, are the wheels. However, this car already has some type of coating on it, maybe a wax, maybe a sealant, maybe it's a ceramic coating, but we didn't do it and we can see a ton of swirls, so we need to get rid of that ceramic coating. And the three best ways of doing that is by applying a strip wash first, then going ahead and claying it, and then the rest of it's gonna come off in the polish. So let's go ahead and apply the strip wash right away. I like to apply it straight to the paint. I don't like any kind of dilution. Obviously we're diluting it in the foam cannon, but I don't want to put any water on the car. Nothing like that. I just want straight strip wash to paint contact. Like I said, I would let that sit for about 5 minutes. While it's doing that, there's no harm in going around and hitting the wheels with our wheel brush. Okay, and now that this has been sitting for about 5 minutes, it has weakened the coating. We're gonna go ahead and spray it off. Awesome. So the next step we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and hit the wheels really quick. I'll do 1 or 2 with you guys, and then I'll do the rest by myself. All right, so now we're gonna wash the wheels. We always wash the wheels first, other than when we do a strip wash, or at least I like to. That way that when you wash the wheel and then wash the paint, you're not spraying whatever left on the wheel back up onto your paint. So go ahead and spray it with some pressure. We're using the degreaser from Big Red and Bloomco. And spray some Geon iron on there. This is just gonna get rid of all the brake dust back there. As soon as it turns purple, you know it's working, and you can spray it off within about 2 to 3 minutes afterwards. Have that set for a little bit, just kind of agitate the wheel. Grab your smaller brush, go over any kind of areas on the rim you think you might not be able to get with the bigger brush. Grab your wheel brush, get as far back in there as possible and just start scrubbing. Just to make sure. I'm gonna go ahead and wash the other 3 wheels now, and I'll meet you guys back over for the contact wash. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and wash the car. We here at Stamps Bros like to use the 2-bucket wash method, meaning that we have 1 bucket to rinse our wash mitt, and then we dip it in the 2nd bucket right before we put it onto the car, just to minimize as much contaminants as possible. So let's go ahead and get started. We are still gonna use the strip wash. The strip wash we're using is from Adams. And that's just so we can work it right into the car and really put the coating or the wax or the sealant already on the car really to rest. And if you notice, I'm not really getting the roof done. It's just because in the previous video, we ceramic coated it, and trust me, that's as clean as that's gonna get. Per panel, we're flipping the wash mitt. Okay, so one of the last things that we're gonna do in the wash stage, besides drying it, is to properly decontaminate the car. So when you're out driving and people brake around you, their brake dust actually can get embedded into your paint as well as some other contamination. So what we do is we spray an iron decontamination onto the paint. When this starts to turn purple, we know that it's working, and after about 2 to 5 minutes, we can spray it off. But what other people don't know is can also be used as clay lube. So a clay bar or a clay mitt, which is what we're gonna use, will also go over and safely remove anything that's embedded into the paint. A good way to know if your car needs this is if you feel it, and it feels kind of like sandpaper, you know you need to do an iron and clay decontamination. So the first thing that you're gonna do is spray it onto the paint. All over the place. You can even spray this stuff onto your windows. Perfect. Once that's on, you let it sit for a little bit, grab your clay mitt or your clay bar. We're just using a clay mitt because it's not that heavily contaminated. Spray your clay mitt a little bit. Just go over the car's paint. If you feel a little rough patch, go back and forth like so. And you can use as much iron spray as you need to. Just keep your paint nice and wet, nice and lubed up. If you're also polishing the car after this is almost essential. One, if there's anything embedded into your paint you polish, you're just gonna make little tiny scratches, a lot of little tiny scratches. And two, you're gonna save your pads. Sometimes people notice little tiny yellow dots on their car's paint. That is also a very good indication that you need to do the iron and clay decontamination. That's called fallout. It's the beginning of rust. Perfect. When that's all done, you want to make sure that you spray this stuff off your car as best as possible. You want none of it sitting on top of your car. know if you guys can see it in the camera, but the car is beading and sheeting a lot less, substantially less. Now, that basically means that the coating is dying, and over in the polish stage, we will completely get rid of the coating. Correction, I got ahead of myself. We gotta dry the vehicle first. Awesome, so now that the car's dried, I'll meet you guys over for the polish. So now that we're done the decontamination phase, we're gonna move it over and start the polish. I don't know if you guys can really see, but there are little swirls in the paint. I'll try and bring you guys close up here to see in the hood there. If you just look at one of the lights, there are some swirls in the paint. Again, I don't know if that's gonna come out in the camera, so you might just have to take my word for it. But regardless, this car is gonna look a million times better after the polish, swirls or not. So let's jump right into this polish and get it done. Okay, so now that we're all ready to polish, we just gotta do a few quick things. One of them being is make sure we have all our protective equipment. I'm wearing gloves, I'm wearing hearing protection. Polishers are loud, I don't wanna lose my hearing. The second thing that we're gonna wanna do is do test spots. Now we've already actually polished the other side of the car. We already know which pad works, which polish works, but I'm just gonna quickly explain to you what we are using and why it's gonna work the best. So we're using Rupes DA coarse with a DA polisher with a Lake Country pad. Now this paint's not too bad, so we don't have to go with anything too coarse. So that's why we're using the orange Lake Country pad. If we wanted to go for a heavier cut, we'd probably use like a blue pad or a gray pad. This one here is a transition pad, so we're gonna be using it for both the cut and the polish. And for the polish, we are using, again, Rupes DA Fine. So what you do first is you spread little dabs, just tiny little dabs on your pad. With Rupes, you don't need to prime your pad. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw my hearing protection on. Okay, and then you're gonna spread out the compound on the panel. This will prevent anything from getting flicked. And on a low setting, I'd say around 2 or 3. You're gonna spread out all the compound all over the panel. And then once that's done, you're gonna turn it up to 6. You cut at 6. And I'm gonna move side to side and up and down, overlapping each pass. I'm gonna be moving it probably about 1 inch per second. Once that's done, you're gonna take your microfiber. I use a short ply, and you're gonna go over and wipe off all the compound away, or as best as possible. And then we'll inspect our work. So we have lights on the ceiling, which are probably the most unforgiving lights possible. Help me see everything. And just judging by those lights there, we've removed probably a good 80% of the swirl marks and scratches that were in the paint. The next thing that we're gonna do is now with the same pad, that's just gonna blow off any dirt that you might have picked up in the paint. Take your DA Fine. Okay, it's the same thing. You're gonna wanna put some dabs on your pad. I say about 5 or 6. And now you're gonna spread it out on your panel again. Okay, so after that you've inspected the paint and we can see that there's almost no scratches left. I'd say it's about a good 98 to 100% better. If you guys did want to get rid of that orange peel that might be in some of you guys' paint, all you need to do is do some wet sanding, maybe a little bit of dry sanding, and then follow up with the two-step cut, and that will get rid of the orange peel. If you guys do want to see that in a future video or how to remove deep scratches, it's just kind of the same process. Just let us know down in the comments and we'll get that done. The last thing that you want to do before applying a ceramic coating or when you're polishing even is prep the panel. So we're using Geon Prep. You spray it on, you take your microfiber, again short ply, that's what I like to use, and you buff it off. That's just going to get rid of any oils, any waxes, anything that the compound or polish may have left behind. And if you're noticing it's streaking a little bit, just blow on it, the streaks will go away. And then you can feel with your hand or another microfiber how smooth the paint is. It's almost like brand new paint. Before we apply a ceramic coating, we are gonna do the entire car again just before the coating goes on with Geon Prep, just to make sure everything is off the paint, from dust to oils to waxes to sealants. This will remove anything. So I'm gonna go ahead now on camera and polish out the rest of this side. You guys can feel free to sit back, relax, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, so the next thing that we're gonna do right after the polish, right before the ceramic coating, is go around with Geon Prep again on every single panel, even the ones that we just wiped down, just to make sure it's free of dust, any contaminants that might have blown up on it, or any waxes or sealants that are on the paint. And I don't see any waxes or anything that I missed, but just in case, because as soon as that ceramic coating goes on, everything that was on the paint is permanently there for however long the ceramic coating says it's for, unless you strip the coating off, but then, you know, you've just wasted all that money and time. So just do one extra wipe, just to be sure. Okay, so I did my best to try and position the camera as best as I could so that you guys could see exactly what I'm doing, as well as me a little bit. Because there is a lot that goes into applying a ceramic coating. And for those of you that don't know how to apply a ceramic coating, the best thing is not to panic, because whatever you do to the paint, you have a good window of opportunity to actually fix that within about an hour, depending on the coating, about an hour to 12 hours to fix whatever you do. For those of you that do know what a ceramic coating is and you're looking more into what ceramic coating is right for you, we are also reviewing this coating. It is Z53 Nano coating with 10H hardness. So essentially, what I'm looking for in this box are the suede applicators. There. And then, let me see if I can come up closer and show you guys. You want to wrap the suede applicator onto the block. This is your block. Prime it, so you want to put a little bit extra the first time. You come back, and in a cross-hatch motion, you're going to go over the paint, barely overlapping. I'd recommend working one panel at a time and just doing half a panel at a time. All right, and then because this is my first time applying this coating, I am just gonna wait a little bit because I don't know how this is gonna react. Different coatings react differently with the humidity and temperature. Essentially what we're looking for are little bubbles or streaks in the coating, or like a rainbow effect. As soon as you see that, it's good to wipe off. Now again, we're using our short ply microfiber cloths. And with the first one, you're just gonna wanna wipe very gently over top. Flip it, buff it off. Now, different detailers have different preferences, but I do like to go over a second time with another micro and thoroughly buff off, kind of making sure that no overspread went onto another panel. And we're good. You can inspect it, make sure we got it all. Perfect. Same thing, you're gonna take it, you're gonna put a few drops onto the suede applicator block. And go ahead and do the rest of the panel the exact same way. One thing I'm noticing is this coating is super easy to apply. So it means it is user-friendly. Super easy to buff off. It's coming off super slick as well. It does appear to be flashing for me in about 30 seconds. Again, it is super easy to wipe off. And again, we will be doing a video probably a week from now on its durability and how it's performing and the gloss after a week. Revolution's Detailing Supplies right here in Calgary was kind enough to give us this coating. Go check them out. They ship all over Canada, and Dustin, the owner, is your go-to guy if you have any questions detailing wise. He will do his best to help you out. I'm going to apply it to half the hood, just to see how easy it is to actually wipe off. Some coatings, if you don't wipe them off right away, they are extremely hard to get off without getting any high spots. Speaking of high spots, if you do happen to see one, depending on the coating, with most of the DIY coatings, within an hour, you can just go back and wipe it off. If you notice that you can't wipe off the coating within that first hour, I'd recommend reapplying the coating and then wiping it off straight away without waiting. If that doesn't work and the high spot's still there, take your short ply microfiber, apply a little bit of compound to it, and all in one, polish and protect would do just fine, just so you don't ruin any of the hydrophobics. And try and buff it off with the towel, with your microfiber. And if that doesn't work, you're gonna have to re-polish out the area. A high spot is when you don't properly level or wipe off all of the coating. It'll look kind of like oil going into water. It looks a little bit discolored or black, dark black. Sorry, the application of the ZR53 is going super easy, super smooth. So far so good. I actually really like this coating. If you think you've missed a spot, just go back over, same crosshatch. And again, when you're typically applying a ceramic coating, guys, please wear a mask or something like that. I have vents going, or I have a ventilated area, and do my best to not breathe in the chemical. I'm only doing 2 panels with you guys, so just please, when you're doing the entire car, wear a mask. It comes off super easy. If you guys are wondering what coatings we typically use, it is Labo Cosmetica. We like their coatings. They're self-healing coatings, and it's like some of the technology that I've never seen before in other coatings. And they are the only self-healing coating that I've actually seen self-heal, other than PPF. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually coat the rest of the car, and I'll show you guys the results. Hey guys, now that we've waited a week for the ceramic coating to dry, we're gonna go ahead and test it and show you guys exactly what a ceramic coating is supposed to do when water hits it. Before that, I do want to talk a little bit about the coating. So we used the ZR53 Nano coating, as you guys know. It was super easy to apply, but as you can see, it's not that much gloss. You will get gloss from the paint correction before, but the ZR53 did not add too much gloss as other ceramic coatings may add. Now, when we reached out to ZR53, they said that they didn't build the coating to add gloss to your car. They built it to protect the paint, which is fair enough. That's what a ceramic coating is meant to do. Protect the paint, have hydrophobic properties, and protect it against scratches as much as the ceramic coating will. Now let's go ahead and test out and just see how hydrophobic the ceramic coating is. Now when the water hits the car, you can expect it just to roll right off. That's why ceramic coating companies and detailers will claim that the ceramic coating has self-cleaning properties, because if you do have dirt, dust on the car and water gets on it, it will just take the dirt and dust with it. That being said, it should also be very, very easy to clean and maintain your car after you do get a ceramic coating. So just like promised, just like people claim, this is exactly what a ceramic coating should do. The water is not sticking to the car, and it just rolls right off. Not only that, but if you do grab, it'll be super easy to clean and maintain. Look at that. Let's put the towel on, pull it off, water gone. It's like a magic trick. This coating is super, super, super slick. I can't wait to test it out and actually see how durable it is, which will be a future video, don't worry. Now we are gonna do a durability test in the future, so stay tuned for that. And in the meantime, hit that subscribe button, give us a like, check out our online store, drive safe, and I'll see you on the next detail.
Here at Stance Bros, we're recognized as one of Calgary's premier detailing spas. Our meticulous attention to detail ensures every vehicle entrusted to us leaves looking its best. Join us on this channel as we showcase our passion for cars, detailing expertise, and exciting car content. At Stance Bros, we're cultivating a community united by our passion for all things automotive.
Nice stance, bro.